What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Now, in today's video, we'll be covering TOEFL independent writing. So, if independent writing questions, if writing the independent essay is a struggle for you, take extra good notes and pay close attention to my sample essay, okay? Now, today's essay topic was given to me by one of our lovely subscribers. Once again, thank you so much. Please do not forget to leave any independent speaking or independent writing topics that you want me to personally cover in the comment section below, okay? All right, now without further ado, let's get to my sample essay. All right, let's take a look at the essay topic. Some people think governments should spend as much money as possible exploring outer space, for example, traveling to the moon and to other planets. Other people disagree and think government should spend this money for our basic needs on Earth. Which of these two opinions do you agree with? Now, for this essay topic, I am going to agree with the second opinion, which is governments should spend this money for our basic needs on Earth, or should spend as much money as possible for our basic needs on Earth, okay? All right, I want you guys to pause the video for maybe 2 or 3 minutes so that you can have some time to brainstorm this topic. So pick your own opinion and try to come up with 2 reasons that are not only relevant, but also relatable, okay? So try to come up with 2 body paragraphs that are not off topic and hopefully details that are not too extreme, okay? All right, now let's move on to the introduction. Okay, so this is the beginning of my sample essay. As everything in life is like a coin that has 2 different sides, people must weigh the pros and cons before jumping to conclusions. After all, each and every question or topic requires careful deliberation and that there are always multiple variables to a truth. Even though some may adamantly believe that governments should spend as much money as possible exploring outer space, I strongly think such opinion lacks coherence to some extent. In my humble opinion, ensuring that the basic needs on Earth are satisfied should take priority over quenching our curiosities about the cosmos for the following reasons. Now, in this sentence, quenching our curiosities means satisfying our curiosities, which basically means finding the answers to our questions. And the cosmos is a synonym of outer space. All right, now let's move on to the first body paragraph. First and foremost, the majority of individuals would agree with the notion that providing funds for space exploration at the expense of the basic necessities of life can result in unfavorable ramifications. The main reason behind this rationale is that discovering new planets and solar systems is very exciting, but doing so does not directly benefit most citizens and requires an astronomical amount of finances. Now, an astronomical amount of means a huge amount of, but I decided to use astronomical on purpose because this word is related to or stems from the word astronomy, okay? You don't have to worry about this kind of word choice, but that's why I did it. Okay, now the second detail, in other words, denizens will not only be confused, but also enraged if they notice that their taxes are being used for things that do not help them. To illustrate more thoroughly, one of the most groundbreaking realizations made in the field of astronomy is that Pluto is actually not a planet in our solar system. This discovery shocked many adults as they've been taught in school that Pluto is the smallest and most distant neighboring planet. However, the relevance of this realization ends the moment people understand it, because the fact that Pluto is now just some chunk of space rock has absolutely no effect on most people's lives. What will doctors and patients have to do different now that Pluto is not a planet? Will lawyers have to change the way they behave in court because of this revelation? Students will now be taught that Pluto is not a member of our solar system. Nevertheless, what does this really have to do with most of our daily struggles or personal issues? Besides, NASA has been receiving a ton of harsh criticisms these days due to the amount of money it spends and the lack of findings. All in all, we can't and shouldn't overlook the downsides of providing funds for space exploration at the expense of the basic necessities of life. All right, so that's my first body paragraph, which criticized spending a lot of money on space exploration at the expense of what we need on Earth, okay? All right, now let's move on to the second body paragraph. On top of this, spending as much money as possible on satisfying the basic needs on Earth will engender a myriad of advantages for governments and their citizens. In the eyes of many people in present-day society, pollution has been running rampant for the past few decades and has harmed Mother Nature tremendously. Needless to say, it's about time we start addressing and alleviating the environmental issues caused by our greed and pollution. A great example of this would be global warming. Some people may still deem global warming a myth, but the evidence of climate change and the virtual disappearance of certain seasons should not be ignored. People who live in the northeastern United States used to enjoy all 4 seasons throughout the year. In contrast, these days, it appears as if spring and fall only visit this region of America for very short bursts. Once trees fill their branches with leaves, the weather becomes scorching within a week. Plus, right when trees shed their branches of leaves, it seems as if the wind becomes frigid in no time at all. Moreover, the fact that the polar ice caps are melting at a faster rate has been acknowledged and sending shockwaves throughout the scientific community. On the other side of the coin, those who live in cities like Seoul and Beijing are now extremely concerned about fine dust and its terrible effects on the respiratory system. This phenomenon has never existed before pollution became severe, so it's pretty obvious that human activity is the cause. Long story short, it's clear as day to me that governments should spend as much money as possible on satisfying the basic needs on Earth before even thinking about funding journeys into outer space. All right. Now, I know that the transition from my sample essay to this scene is a bit abrupt, so please rewind the video so that you can pause it and read the conclusion paragraph on your own. The conclusion paragraph is mostly comprised of my writing template, which is why I decided not to read it out loud, okay? So please go back and look at the conclusion paragraph on your own, all right? Okay, now, the independent writing question, the independent writing topic does not have a right or wrong answer, okay? It's not like a multiple choice question in which 4 of the options are wrong and only 1 is right. So that's not the situation. Now, if you know this, you should no longer be paralyzed when you see an essay topic that's kind of strange or unfamiliar to you, because there is no right or wrong answer. It's not black and white, okay? The independent essay assignment itself is very gray. It's not transparent, because if you are a writer who writes all of the necessary connecting details so that whatever your opinion happens to be becomes really understandable and comprehensible to the reader, then you're going to get a good score on your essay, okay? On the flip side, no matter how logical or good your opinion happens to be, if you don't include those necessary connecting details, then your essay is going to be considered bad. Understand? All right, that just about wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed the sample essay, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you still have not done so, share the content with your close friends and family members if they need the extra assistance. And last but not least, if you are a self-disciplined and dedicated person, reach out to me about my tutoring services. Let's get the score that you deserve as quickly as possible. The next video will be covering TOEFL integrated writing. So if integrated writing prompts are a huge struggle for you, stay tuned and be sure to check out the next video. Peace!